Welcome, everybody, to the April 2026 TDL Member Forum. My name's Christy Park. I'm the Executive Director of the Texas Digital Library. And we will start as we normally do by acknowledging the physical places from which we're joining, all located on the indigenous lands of Turtle Island, the ancestral name for what is now called North America. I'm joining from Austin, where the Tonkawa were among the traditional stewards of the land before their forcible removal, and I invite you to share your own land acknowledgments in chat if you would like to. We'll follow the familiar agenda here, and I'm joined by Courtney Muma, our Deputy Director, and Kiera Hunt, our Outreach and Member Engagement Coordinator, in providing some updates. We've got several TDL staff in attendance as well. And thank you to Megan Hernandez for managing our slide deck today. We also are excited to have two guests providing updates on the upcoming Texas Conference on Digital Libraries. Those are Elliot Williams from UT San Antonio and Isabel Antes from Texas State, our chair and vice chair of the planning committees this year. So thank you both for being here. All right, I've got a couple of things here at the start before we get into service updates. First off, a reminder that the new rule related to Title II of the Americans with Disabilities Act goes into effect for most of our member institutions later this month on April 24th. The final rule, as you probably are aware, has specific requirements for state and local governments, including the libraries at public institutions of higher ed, to ensure that their web content and mobile applications are accessible to and usable by people with disabilities. The expectation in the rule is that institutions will be in full compliance by April 24th. And of course, realistically, this is an ongoing effort that will extend past this deadline. And we have been working towards it. And towards the full accessibility of our hosted platforms for several years now. We'll continue to endeavor to do that. And we've been working with many of you on task forces and on working groups over the past year plus to address the compliance of documents, images, and other content that members host in our platforms. We've been working through our user groups associated with each of our services to keep you up to date and to facilitate collaboration and mutual support on these issues. So through those efforts, we've produced a number of resources together to help you in implementing the new guidance. And I've included a link to a page from our wiki on this slide. We'll also share that in chat where you can access those resources and toolkits and other things that we've developed over time and that we'll continue to add to. As we approach this deadline on April 24th, I just want to continue to encourage everyone to review those toolkits, to review the guidance of the American Library Association and other library groups, and we'll share a link in chat to the ALA guidance as well. Also to be in contact with the accessibility offices and general counsel's offices on your campus, as I know many of you are, and to have documented plans for addressing the accessibility of library resources. The ALA guidance says very well that these new regulations represent more than just legal compliance. They embody our profession's commitment to ensuring everyone can access and benefit from our collections, services, and spaces. And as a organization promoting open access to resources, TDL is especially committed to making sure that those resources are accessible to as many people as possible. So we look forward to continuing to work with you towards that goal. Next up, a reminder about a call for interest that I sent out to our members list yesterday. To participate in a webinar series that we are curating for the summer to showcase AI and machine learning projects and programs within academic libraries. So, for one of those webinars in this series, we want to showcase our members' work in this area through a virtual discussion panel featuring representatives from a select group of institutions discussing your library's approaches to AI and machine learning. And we have a list here of kind of thematic areas or topics just to be generative for you to think about how is our library engaging with AI machine learning in one of these or more of these topic areas. But if you are interested in participating, we would love to hear from you. You can contact me about that. And we ask that you do so by Wednesday, May 6th, and then we'll be coordinating with any interested parties to schedule and plan the event. I've already heard from a couple of you, which is really exciting, and would love to hear from more. And then finally, before we get into service updates, just a reminder that Courtney and I will once again hold office hours or an office half hour today, directly after we conclude the forum. If there's something you want to discuss with us or you just like to hang out for a few minutes, we hope you'll join us. This is something that we've been testing out over a 3-month period since February to offer an informal opportunity for discussion and engagement. And so, since this is the last month for this pilot, we're asking for your feedback in a short survey, which we'll link to in chat, and we'll share that again at the end of the presentation today as well. Okay, we'll move into services and project updates, starting with digital repositories. I just had a couple of DSpace open source community items to share with you. First off, um, about the DSpace North America user group, which is holding a meeting, an in-person meeting in September in Cambridge, Massachusetts. There is a call for proposals out for that meeting, um, issued by the Lyricists and the Harvard Library's Open Scholarship and Research Data Services, which is the host for this year's meeting. They're inviting proposals through May 31st. This is an in-person meeting that brings together people who manage and support DSpace across North America, including its IR managers and administrators, developers, technical staff, service providers, anybody interested in working with DSpace. Is invited to attend and participate. And it's a great opportunity to get connected in person during a year when Open Repositories Conference is not being held in person. So this will be a great opportunity to collaborate and network with others using DSpace. Secondly, the DSpace 10.0 testathon is happening right now. That is happening through April 24th. And this is an opportunity for the global DSpace user community to test out new features and ensure that the features you care about are working well in version 10, and to report any bugs so that developers can fix them prior to the formal 10.0 release. The organizers have a testing plan available. They're hosting some virtual co-working sessions coming up where you can do this testing with others and ask questions as you go. So they're making it as easy as possible on community members to participate. We'll share a link in chat if you're interested in helping out in that way. But just a reminder that currently, our TDL hosted repositories are in version 8, and we're upgrading to 9 later this year. So this is a chance to get an early sneak peek at kind of next year's DSpace and ensure that the code is high quality before it goes out. I think that's it for me. I'm going to hand it over to Courtney to continue with some Vireo updates.
Thank you, Christy. Hi, everybody. I'm going to start with a Vireo. Vireo lead developer for TDL, Frank Smutniak, and Vireo product manager, Christopher Starcher from Texas Tech, will lead a development sprint this month focused on fixing bugs that impact TDL users. The sprint will be followed by upgrades to TDL members in May. And like all Vireo sprints, this one is also open to community contributions. Speaking of community, we will be sharing a survey out to the entire Vireo open source community this spring, asking for input into Vireo 5, believe it or not. The survey will be distributed via the Vireo user group listserv, so please take the time to contribute to it when you see it and help us envision the next generation of Vireo ETD. Moving on to digital preservation. As we've mentioned before, the Digital Preservation Services Transformation Task Force was formed to meet parallel challenges. UCSD will no longer support Chronopolis as of the summer of 2027, and Lyrasis is making foundational changes to its DuraCloud software. In light of these changes, the task force has made recommendations for digital preservation continuity that maintain the value proposition of TDL's unique digital preservation service offerings. After reviewing the recommendations of the task force, the TDL Governing Board has approved the overall strategy and asked that we begin executing the project timeline. To begin, we're reaching out to collaborate with Digital Preservation Service members, activating a variety of partner negotiations, and scoping out development of all the different service elements. We will share more details with the greater TDL community once some of the agreements are in place and the project has been formally scoped. For now, I'll say that we are really looking forward to building new partnerships. We share our members' commitment to digital preservation, including adapting when digital preservation services, tools, and networks evolve and sunset. Next up, the Texas Data Repository. Good news! The TDL staff have upgraded the Texas Data Repository to Dataverse 6.10.1. This was an especially challenging upgrade as it included iterating through several versions of the software, as well as major database and operating system changes. We appreciate the patience of our Texas Data Repository Steering Committee liaisons and their users as we overcame some unexpected delays during the upgrade. You can review the differences across the 4 versions and read more about them via the link provided in chat, but I'd like to highlight a couple of essential changes. In alignment with our larger data work, we now have the ability to scale Dataverse with data size functionality, which is intended to help administrators configure Dataverse appropriately to handle larger amounts of data. Also, storage quotas now make it possible to define storage quotas on individual data sets via API. The practical use case is for data sets in the top-level root collection. This is going to be really helpful towards accomplishing our larger data service work. There are some links in chat describing each of those functions I just mentioned in more detail. There are also several other new features which are not yet enabled in the TDR, which the steering committee will consider and TDL will enable over time based on their feedback. For example, we may allow for optional manual freeform version notes on datasets and bar the publishing of datasets which do not have any files in them, for example. Those are both new features. So now I'm going to hand over to the fabulous Elliot Williams, our chair of TCDL this year.
Thanks, Courtney. Hey, everybody. It's really great to be here with you today. I'm Elliot Williams. I'm the chair of this year's TCDL Planning Committee, as Courtney mentioned, and I'm here with Isabel Antes, our vice chair of the Planning Committee, to share some updates with you about TCDL 2026. We're really excited about how this year's TCDL is shaping up, and I hope to see lots of you in Austin in June. The full program schedule for the 2026 Texas Conference on Digital Libraries is now live. You can view it on Sched to start planning your sessions. We will be meeting in person in Austin from June 2nd to 4th at the Commons Conference Center, our usual location. We're really excited about our opening plenary this year, which will feature the TDL Awards ceremony and a keynote titled Illuminating Drop Caps by Jesse Contour and Kelsey Gray, both of whom are from the School of Design and Creative Technologies at the University of Texas at Austin. Other highlights include our high energy poster pitch session and a panel on the day in the life of an academic librarian, kind of offering perspectives from lots of different types of librarians. We'll also have a professional headshot station for all attendees available again this year, And of course, lots of other great content and opportunities to learn and connect. Kiara has shared the links in Sched for, or shared the links for Sched and the conference page, and I'll pass it over to Isabel.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to cover a couple of the logistics and registration for TCDL 2026. Early bird registration is open through May 8th, with final registration closing May 20th. If you're a speaker or already registered, please look for an email from Sched to set up your profile. Just be sure to use the same email address you used for your registration. For catering, we're providing breakfast and lunch on Wednesday and Thursday this year, plus a reception on Tuesday evening. Finally, don't forget to participate in our treasure hunt or bring donations for the book drive supporting Inside Books Project. You can drop off your new and soft cover books at the check-in table. If you have questions, feel free to send an email to info@tdl.org. Links for the registration, treasure hunt game, and book drive will be shared in chat by Kiera. The other part that's always fun when it comes to conference and travel is the hotel and hotel deadlines. If you're traveling to Austin, we have 2 hotel blocks with special rates available. The Hampton Inn at the Domain offers rooms starting at $119 through May 12th. The Fairfield Inn has suites for $120 through June 1st. Both include free breakfast and parking. Please note that neither hotel provides a shuttle to the Commons Conference Center, so you'll want to plan for your commute accordingly. You can find more nearby lodging options on the hotel bookings page that'll be shared in chat as well. We also share a link to the local resources page. There's lots of stuff in Austin to do, but we've curated some potential areas of interest and locations for anybody who's attending TCDL 2026 this year. That's all for our TCDL 2026 updates, and I'll hand things over to Kiara to share some more community updates. Thank you.
Thanks, Isabel, and thanks, Elliot, for sharing those TCDL updates. I'll start with our upcoming TDL events. Just a reminder that these events are available on our TDL events calendar, and we'll share that link in chat. First up, we have our member group leadership orientation session, which is going to be happening tomorrow at 11 a.m. We have our digital preservation interest group meeting on April 16th at 2 p.m. The GIS interest group meeting will be held on April 24th at 2 p.m. The DSpace user group meeting will be on April 27th at 3 p.m. We have our Web Archiving Texas interest group meeting on April 29th at 2 p.m. And then jumping over to May, we have our Open Access interest group meeting on May 6th at 2 p.m. The OJS users group meeting will be on May 7th at 10 a.m. And also on May 7th is our member group leadership office hours happening at 3 p.m. And then we have our OER users group meeting happening on May 13th at 3 p.m. And once again, we'll have the link to our TDL event shared in chat with you. Next up, we have our Get Involved information. You can check out the latest TDL announcements for upcoming meetings, any of the events, programs, or our social media channels, and our announcements in our bi-monthly newsletter. And on our announcement lister, we'll have that link shared for you in chat. It has our Get Involved page, which lists all of our social media and all of our other methods to get connected with us. Next, we want to help share the amazing work happening at your institutions, whether it's for our bi-monthly newsletter, once again, the TDO blog, or our social media channels. You can share information about what you're doing at your institution using our content idea submission form. And we're happy to amplify any post on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. And you can use that form to let us know what's happening, and then we can figure out which is the best method to amplify your events. And we'll have that link in chat for you. And I'll hand things back over to Christy to talk about our anonymous suggestion box. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Kiera. And thank you, Courtney and Elliot and Isabel for all those updates. It's that time of year where we are really getting excited about seeing everybody at Texas Conference on Digital Libraries. A little later this year than normal in early June, and we are looking forward to seeing you all and think we have a great program planned. We do have some time, a little bit of time for questions. If there are any, we covered a lot of ground today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand. We can call on you, or you can enter your question in chat. And I'll remind you that if you have something you want to let us know about anonymously or to ask anonymously and have us address it in a future forum, you can use our anonymous suggestion box, which we'll link to in chat. Pause for just another moment in case there are any questions, and also remind you that once we conclude the forum here, we'll stop the recording and transition into our director's office hours. And Courtney and I will stick around and be here to chat with you or discuss anything you want to for about half hour following the conclusion of the forum. We also have a link here on the slide and in chat to our feedback form related to the director's office hours pilot. So whether or not you attended an office hours session, we would like to hear from you. It'll take you about 2 minutes, if that, to take the survey. So we ask that everybody do that. I'm not seeing any typing in chat or hands raised, so I think we will wrap it up there for today. Thank you all for attending. It's good to spend this time with you, and we will see you next time. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.